Let's talk about some dreams. The Dreamweaver's Hub is the first world in the game that felt completely magical. There are enemies that after being shot by some sort of beam made them bigger, meaning either you had to wait for them to get small to attack them or adapt and attack them in a different way, aka flame these ones and wait for the armored guys. The level itself looks magical, with a cluster of floating islands that come together to create a kingdom. That is way better than a field or a swamp or a snowy mountain or especially a desert. It feels unreal, which is probably why it makes it feel so magical. In the middle of the hub, you can kill the enemy that is using the cannon that changes the size of the other characters, and you can use it yourself to gain access into different areas of the stage. You are effectively using their technique against them. Although I wonder why he ever changed the other enemies to small again in the first place, since that makes them easier for me to kill, but never mind. Dreamweavers also introduces the fools that will not die, but upon being hit will change the stage for a certain period of time, letting you progress or find secrets. And one particular stage in the Dreamweaver's worlds has the hardest one in the whole game, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. This set of worlds also has the most skill points out of the rest of the worlds in the game, with the one being in this hub being through an invisible wall, which is cool, but did take me some time to find. The Dreamweaver's hub sets you up for the rest of the worlds by teaching some key mechanics in easy spots. It only gets harder from here, kids. Let's see where the magic takes us. Latif is the leader of the Dreamweaver's world, and his first words were to expect the unexpected. Well, pal, I wasn't expecting to be impressed with a world right after Beastmakers thoroughly impressed me, so I already see what you mean. This Dreamweaver dragon, along with most, have bright colors and long necks. In Reignited, he sports the most beautiful wings in the game thus far, some balls of jewelry on his cute, fluffy tail and neck, and some kind of liquid next to him that I will officially dub as Dream Soup. I love how he makes neat motions with his hands and is standing on his tail. Just think of the strength needed for that. Anyway, no more rambling. Moving on.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one. While chasing Nasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one. While chasing Nasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
Zkomo is not the star of the show in his own interaction. He might as well have just said thank you for releasing me. Spyro just rattles off about Nasty North the whole time. Zkomo in the original has a really nice tealish color to him, and his wings have this nice fade into purple. Zkomo in Reignited sports an hourglass with what I have heard has a Skylanders reference to it, but I have not had the chance to play those games yet, so I'm not sure myself. A lanky design with some nice patterns down his chest, the curliest of horns with a floating star betwixt them, and Blicasp. They remembered the coloration on the wings, not a detail I thought they would remember or get right at all. I now realize that every dragon here has to or should have some kind of sleepy time item. Zkomo has the hourglass and Latif has the dream soup. Both versions of Zkomo get my seal of approval.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done. I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done.
I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
Mazzy tells you about the fools and how they can't be destroyed, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't be attacked. He is tall with a really nice blue and pink color scheme in the original. In Reignited, he is okay. Probably my least favorite dragon design in the Dreamweaver's hub world. He is old and has the Elder Dragon cane that we see throughout the game. Keeps the pink wings and makes them feathery. It's really hard to see, but he has a tail that the end opens up like a flower. He has bull-looking horns and a sleepy time cap. There are so many dragon designs in the first game alone, so it's impressive that I don't dislike any of them. Mazzy is just lower on my favorite list than most, so don't think I hate him. Plus, you gotta love that slide.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
Dreamweavers does not sound as magical as it looks, but it still has a really good song. I mean, the Spyro instruments are beautiful no matter what, but the way the song starts off soft and then gets harder as it goes is beautiful. I also gotta give props to the reignited version for making the song sound that much more intense. Both are beautiful. Icy Flight is the last flight level in the game, and it's okay. It looks very samey to the other flight levels except Wild Flight, but woo, look, there's ice. I mean, I like ice, but it isn't something you just slap on a stage to say, hey, this is different guys, I swear. You flame lanterns, chests, trains, and propeller norks. To be honest, criticism aside, this is my second favorite flight level in the game, and that is because it makes you juggle getting chests and lanterns at the same time, as well as trains and propeller norks. It just has a nice rhythm to it. Not as good as Wild Flight in my opinion, but still pretty fun. I just wish it did something more to distinguish itself aesthetically. Welcome to the last flight song in the game. Again, it's pretty good, but not better than most of the stage songs. It's high-paced and prepares you for flying and yeah, whatever. I pretty much have the same opinion on each flight stage in the game, so I really don't want to sound repetitive. Both versions are equal in my eyes, so just have a listen. Haunted Towers is probably the weakest stage in terms of the three main Dreamweaver worlds, which is why it's surprising to me that it's so great. So you start off on this first floating island with a giant door in front of you, so obviously you knock it down and you are greeted with Norks who have grenades in their hands. Fucking grenades. I don't think the censorship in Reignited ruins the enemies at all. They may be a little less threatening, but it does not ruin them. The gimmick of the stage is that there are possessed suits of armor who attack you and who can only be killed by the fairies scattered across the stage. And once again, I cannot stress how great it is that Toys for Bob actually made new designs for Spyro's power-ups. Okay, so you kill all the suits of armor and you destroy some metal door with a fairy's kiss, and you get to the second island where you rinse and repeat until you eventually make it up to the tower. In Reignited, charge jump all the way over here to find a hat and get a skill point. After climbing back up, cause yeah, in one version you jump down, you may notice, oh shit, supercharge is a thing. And in these awkward hallways, it's a little bit hell to traverse, especially since you need to use the supercharge to go all the way over here and make a leap of faith. Okay, maybe you can see this platform from somewhere else in the stage, but again, working your way to getting there isn't easy when you can't look at all of the surroundings at once. Anyway, complaining aside, get through the armor boys quickly to get the permanent super flame. I mean permanent super flame for this stage. And oh boy, the hitboxes for these guys in Reignited will make you want to throw your leg at your mom for fuck's sake. Just know that leaving the room and coming back will reset them every time. And that's pretty much the last memorable part of the stage. You just jump down and wipe out everyone with your super flame and then you're done. Or you're like me and you forget the metal box right outside the area with the permanent super flame and have to backtrack all the way there. Don't be like me. I do like gimmicks with the fairies and the overall theme of possessed armor a lot. The only thing holding me down is that damn leap of faith and the hitboxes being huge on the possessed armor in Reignited. Without those, Haunted Towers would be almost perfect in my eyes. Kosoko tells you that if a fairy kisses you, your flame gets stronger. Considering we had to get our upgraded flame to even get up here in the first place, I wonder why they placed Kosoko here, and not, I don't know, down in the first castle. In the original, he has some nice bluish colors and a yellow goatee. In Reignited, he is okay. Probably one of my personal least favorite dragons in terms of design. Don't get me wrong, I love the stars on his tail and wings, along with all of the colors and the fact they gave him a chin beard and gave him a candle as a sleepy time object. But when I was thinking back to try to remember every dragon in the game after my first playthrough, this is the only one I didn't remember. Kosoko isn't terrible, he just isn't too memorable to me. I do like the Reignited version better because he has the chill voice though, and you gotta love the chill.
Hey Spyro, there's magic in the fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
Hey, Spyro. All dragons know there's magic in a fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
I really hope I'm pronouncing this name right. Ludderlo? No, I'm kidding. Lutalo tells Spyro that he should have patience because Nasty Nork is right around the corner. And man, in both versions, I love how disgusted and angry he sounds when he says Nasty Nork. In the original, he has purple horns and a green and blue color scheme that work nicely off each other. In Reignited, he is decked out with jewelry. He has a magical genie lamp as a sleepy time item, rings around his arms and tail along with a chest plate and a neat hat. I am really liking the wings on all of these Dreamweaver dragons as well. Their wings look almost unreal, and my god, look at those horns and his spearhead tail. This is certainly a memorable dragon and a welcome addition to the dragon family.
Hold your horns! Here comes Spyro!
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most, Nasty Nork.
Hold your horns. Here comes Spyro.
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most, Nasty Nork.
Copano just tells you that you are good at supercharging. No, I'm good at looking at the level layout to try to make a blind leap. Anyways, Copano in the original looks like most other Dreamweaver dragons out there, but Reignited Copa is much better. What really makes him stand out is his cup of coffee and his jitteriness. They animated him like he was hyped up on caffeine, and it's beautiful. Copano is a little bit bigger than the other dragons and really seals the deal with the whole I'm chill vibe that Dreamweaver dragons go for. He has starry wings, a starry scarf proving once and for all that dragons get cold, and a warm belly that I could just cuddle up to. There, Copano. You aren't the best dragon, but you're still loved.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work!
My god, the reignited version of this song is so much better. The main instrument of the original version is kind of in your face and it can be kind of obnoxious. The reignited version has a few softer instruments and everything just blends better to me. Not to say I hate the original, it's just my opinion. Finally, we come to my favorite level in the first Spyro game. The whole stage takes place in these caverns that were made in these giant floating rocks. It has this dark, mysterious atmosphere that my inner Elvin just loves. What really stands out in this stage, other than the atmosphere, is the enemies. The fools from the hub return, but instead of changing the layout of the world, he changes the enemies like the cannon from the hub. It mixes both of the mechanics into one, and that's so interesting. When the lantern the fool is holding is off, the enemies warp into the bigger, badder enemies you see, and when it's on, they are much easier to handle. Most of the times the lanterns turn on and off by themselves every once in a while, but some rooms the lantern will always be off until you hit the fool. For the first world in the Dreamweaver's hub that you see, it is pretty difficult. In my opinion, the hardest of the 3 main worlds. I mean, like, screw these turtles. Big or small, they make me fall. Like, die, okay? They kill me. If I had any not really complaints, more like just odd things to say, in the original there's this spot that it looks like it should kill you, but it just doesn't. My overall favorite part of the stage is the whole ending area, especially in Reignited. Just how it's an open version of the center of the cave. Like, you travel all the way to the center and you are done. Or are you? By the end, there is a cave that leads you to another section of the stage that loops around back to the center. God, this stage is just so beautiful and I love it. Cassia tells you that enemies in Dark Passage can be scary, but to watch the fools, aka wait until the lantern is on to strike. Spyro even says to flame the fools, telling you that something might happen if you do. I love both versions of Cassia's voice. They are both deep and threatening, and when both versions say now you're thinking, their voices are just too beautifully deep. The original has Cassia as a fatter Dreamweaver dragon that has a few nice blues and browns to him, while Reignited has holy shit that tail. It isn't the first time we've seen a dragon sit on his tail, but damn it's thick. The tail alone could feed a group of thousands of people. After 4 days without food, no problem. Tail aside, he has a pretty vibrant colors with a cute dog-like face. He even has some sort of sleepy time vial. I give Cassia an 8 out of time to move on.
The enemies here can be quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking. The enemies here can be quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking.
Azizi is thank you for releasing me dragon number 8. In the original, he is just a tall purple Dreamweaver dragon. In Reignited, he's actually mostly the same, tall and purple with a weird looking neck, constellation wings, and a walking stick. He also has a crescent moon tail, which I didn't mention that Cassia had, but Cassia has one. What sticks out the most to me is that it implies that Azizi is blind. I don't know why, but it really stuck out to me since the only impairment we've seen in the game is a dragon or two that have crystal wings in Magic Crafters. But blindness is irreplaceable. I'm telling you, these thank you for releasing me dragons were given a lot of cool details that they didn't need for 2-second dragons. Toys for Bob really did have a passion for this game, and it shows.
Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
Bakari tells you that you may be the one to defeat Nasty Nork. Well, yeah, I've seen no one else try at this point, so I figured I was the only one trying to beat him. Well, whatever. In the original, Bakari has a green color scheme, and I have no idea how they did it, but they gave him old people lips. Call me stupid, but I see a bit of crust in those lips. Reignited actually kept the crusty prune lips and made Bakari a treat to look at. He has lovely wings and some sort of metal all over both of his wings and his body. 4 sleeve caps on all 4 sides of his face, which why, but okay. A cane, and my favorite detail, Mofo's sheep slippers. I have no clue why, but I absolutely adore his sleepy sheepy slippers. Lastly, he has a pattern going all over his body, which is just a treat to look at. Bakari is a treat.
You know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Nork.
That's me, all right.
You know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Nork.
That's me, all right.
Apara says that he would love to help you, but not really. In the original, Bakari is green. In Reignited, I have no idea what it is, but he looks like a Dragon Tales dragon. The tooth, horns, and face all give off that vibe. Other than that, all Bakari has is his starry wings, some jewelry, and a lantern that he taps before he disappears. It's not much for a dragon, but I still like him. Extra props for Reignited for making him more scared when he's talking about being trapped again.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Nasty, but I'd really hate being trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry, the only one who's gonna be trapped is him.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Nasty, but I'd really hate to be trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry, the only one that's gonna be trapped is him.
Obasi thank you for releasing me Dragon number 9. In the original, he is buff and blue, whereas in Reignited, they made him some kind of jester. With the purple gloves and hat, it really seems like a jester, but the rest of him doesn't seem so. He has a cool staff that seems to have its own planetary alignment, some feathery wings, and some kind of rocks growing on his tail. Not too much to this dragon, but enough small things to really make him stick out in a crowd.
Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
Dark Passage has a pretty good song to it. God, I'm so bad with these music things. Look, it has nice chimes, and even though it's a soft song, it still fits the style of a dark cavern perfectly. Reignited suffers a bit from sounding like it has softer instruments and even a few missing instruments. Just shows the original is still better in ways. Lofty Castle is probably one of the most beloved stages in the game. It's personally not my favorite in the Dreamweaver's hub, that spot goes to Dark Passage, but it is a damn fine stage. Lofty Castle resembles the hub of the Dreamweavers, with the aesthetic being a bunch of floating islands and castles interconnecting. In terms of enemies, it has the Cupid-looking guys from Dark Passage, some floating balloon lizards, and Norks floating on literal balloons. Honestly, this is probably the easiest stage in the entire hub. So the gimmick of this stage is that you need to rescue fairies to bring you to other locations all around the map. And in Reignited, when you see the fairies in cages, my god, it's so sad. I mean, that's pretty much it. The stage is fairly simple. You come over to this middle area, which, might I add, has the only red gem box in the game. You see a chest and wonder, how do I get this? You continue to a split in the road. Go left first, just because you love and trust me, and I am the almighty Spyro god. Go through this tower and make sure you get all of the gems in the ground level. Whenever I miss gems in this stage, it's usually the spot. Free all of the fairies and supercharge through this whole section to loop back around and get the chest. In Reignited, there's a skill point where if you use this supercharge and hit this stump, you will get a skill point. Then after you do all that, you go right at the fork of the road and then you just continue to the end and beat the stage. It's not really that difficult, but even with the slight backtracking you have to do, it remains one of the best levels in the game. No leaps of faith to ruin this stage, Haunted Towers. It may seem samey a bit when it comes to comparing Haunted Castle and theme, but I think the stage gimmick really makes it stand out and still be amazing. Mudada tells you that fairies are always on your side. Thanks, man. If only they saved me from death like the fairies from High Caves. Or maybe they can give me a power-up to kill things easier, like, again, High Caves. No? Okay. Mudada is okay. It's really hard to find new things to say about the original dragons. I like his color. Moving on. Mudada in Reignited is a strange dragon. He has this stuffed thing of a child, which is odd, and his wings and tail almost seem like fabric. There isn't much to say. I mean, I like him, he's very unique. He looks really comfy and sleepy, and that's all that matters for a Dreamweaver at the end of the day. Still don't get the doll thing though. The doll thing's really, really weird.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro.
Useni tells you about the supercharge. Again. Hey, I doubt these dragons communicate that often. Useni doesn't know where Spyro has been and who he's talked to. I'm just gonna take a moment to say I know these lines are preparing you for the next obstacle, but I just doubt they are necessary since when you see the supercharge you pretty much already know what to do. Anyway, again, the original has a nice color and Ria blows that design out of the water. There's nothing against the original designs of the dragons either because they are really impressive for the time they came out. But Reignited has better hardware to work with. That's why they are better in my opinion. Anyway, Useni seems like some kind of dancer in Reignited. He does a few stances, has a sick mustachio, and I don't know why, but there's this electricity coming off of his horns with a yarn ball at the top. Hey, dancing can make you tired, so technically the whole sleepy time stuff works for him as well. The theme still stays, guys. Beautiful.
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle too. See where it takes you.
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle too. See where it takes you.
Barudi's thank you for releasing me Dragon number 10. Officially 1/8 of the dragons just say thank you. But hey, at least they say something, huh? They could say nothing. Barudi is the one dragon that seemed like a drastic change from the original. They both keep the same blue, pink, and purple color scheme, but the original is a big and tough guy, while the Reignited is scrawny and sleepy. Anyway, some details added onto the Reignited version of his character are his fishing rod thing, his smelly pot, and his calming patterns and clothes all over his body. And wow, what a package he has. Just damn, look at that package. Now that I think about it, fishing is a really calming and relaxing thing to do. So you know what? Barudi gets my seal of approval.
Thank you for releasing me.
Thank you for releasing me.
Now this is what I'm talking about. This is a magical song. Something about the main instrument of Lofty Castle just makes it sound so magical. I have no idea what I'm talking about, it's just magic, and you can't explain magic. I like both versions of the Lofty Castle song about the same. Reignited has the same wonderful chimes and adds a nice guitar in the background. Both feel magical, and it is one of the best songs in the game. In terms of atmosphere, Jacques has every other boss level beat. It has an intimidating skybox, some terrifying enemies that look like nightmare fuel, and some creepy music in the beginning just to throw you off. So in the beginning, there is a branching path with a fool that seemingly does nothing on the right. But what you need to figure out is that this fool controls a platform on the left side and you just need to be speedy to get to it. It leads to a whole new area where there is some pretty easy platforming, even if the OG Spyro never looks like he will ever make any jump. It's a little tough to find this area the first time, but it's pretty sweet. The stage itself isn't too big. As long as you explore both pathways, you'll find everything pretty easily. Now let's talk about Jacques himself. Like some of the other bosses, in Reignited you can't get hit by Jacques at all, or else you can't get the skill point. But he is by far the easiest boss in the game. You just chase him and flame him when he stops. He barely has enough time to even throw a box if you're speedy enough. He is pretty terrifying looking, but looks have nothing if you can't back up the ferocity. Jacques is a pretty fun stage with beautiful enemy design and stage design. Just a bad boss at the end of the illustrious dream-eating realm. It's a nightmare. I'm trying to say it's a nightmare, not dream-eating. It's a fucking nightmare. Unica is a strange case because he is just your standard thank you for releasing me dragon, which wouldn't be a problem if Jacques wasn't a boss level. Luckily, this is the only boss level where you have more than one dragon. Also, Unica is thank you for releasing me dragon number 11, just gonna put that out there. I actually like his original design a lot. Something about the orange color matched with all those scales on his body make him look really cool. Reignited still takes the cake though since he plays an instrument. Ask Aster, it immediately makes you cool. He has a harp in his hand, a nice cuddly body, cool wings, and a tail that has tuning knobs on it. Say hello to another thank you for releasing me dragon with too much detail.
Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Take care.
Revolo teaches you to avoid stuff being thrown at you. Gosh, I'd be mad if you weren't so cute. In the original, Revolo has some nice blue colors, but not much else. In Reignited, Revolo seems to have been inspired by Kirby's Epic Yarn because my god is he made of wool. Everything is made of yarn and I just assume that he is knitting himself a new body for the convenience of being whatever he pleases. There isn't much to say about him, but I do still love Revolo.
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me, aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
Jacques has a pretty good song. It sounds magical, but starts out pretty empty. I mean, the stage is all dark and warped, and it's kind of like looking at a nightmare, so it only makes sense that starting out empty would be a perfect fit for the stage. It makes you want to contemplate what's about to happen to you. And then, after the beat picks up, it's like, I don't care who it is, I'm gonna take them out. I think the Reignited version is better because it seems a little more empty, and in my humble opinion, that is more fitting for the stage. Empty equals better. Plimepf 2019. one more, just one more to do, and then we're done with this game, and I can move on to something else. It's so much work doing these, but it's so much fun putting these out, even though not a lot of people watch it, but whatever, it's fine. I like making things that I'm proud of, and that if that's okay with me, then it's okay with me? Okay, whatever, bye.